Hello everyone and welcome back on my YouTube channel, Maria Ducuţă. I invite you to hit subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can also find me on my Facebook page, Maria Ducuţă, and on Instagram, Maria Ducuţă. Today I want to talk about energy compatibility, why this is important, and how do we know if someone is compatible with us from an energetic point of view or not. Because compatibility relates to certain aspects of our lives, such as emotional compatibility, such as mental compatibility, such as sexual compatibility. However, there is another kind of compatibility that it's extremely important, and it's sometimes overlooked, and that is spiritual compatibility and the way in which my energy gets to engage with the other person's energy. Now, relationships are hard, and expecting any kind of relationship to be only milk and honey, it's something that will fail us, and it's something that will make us feel miserable about ourselves, because there is no perfect human being, hence there is no perfect relationship. However, we cannot say that because we are imperfect, we are totally fine with making mistakes without being ever held accountable for them. So yes, maybe we cannot have a perfect connection all of the time, all our life, but we can have something that it's enough meaningful to us and to the other person, so that we stay in that relationship and we find fulfillment there. Because what is exactly a relationship? What do we call a relationship? Many people call a relationship living with someone in the same place. Many people call a relationship the duties that they have to raise children together. Many people call a relationship a connection that it's established by law or by the church, and hence they have to be there and to share something. But what is it, this something that we share, or this something that it's important to be shared, if it does not relate to emotion, if it does not relate to connection, if it does not relate to energy? So energy compatibility, it's about the way in which a person makes me feel about myself, the way in which I make the other person feel about herself or himself, and the way in which we feel together about ourselves as a couple. When we are compatible with someone from an energetic point of view, we are comfortable, we are secure, and we feel we can be ourselves without ever having to pretend to be in a certain way that we think it would be more attractive to the other person. Energy compatibility is something different from mental compatibility, from sexual compatibility, from emotional compatibility. And why is that? Well, it is because I can be in my 30s or in my 40s. I could have a certain educational background, I could have a certain academic background, and I could say, I need a partner that fits certain criteria. I need someone that it's in this way or in the other way. And so I could search for a partner that from a mental point of view, it's compatible with me. And I could find that person. I could definitely find that person that has the same education as me, that has maybe the same core values, but still there is no connection. And having connection, it doesn't mean to share only certain values that relate to our past experience or to our cultural experience. Having a connection means to find a way in which my soul connects to the soul of the other person, and mostly this way of connecting to each other brings meaning and adds value to our lives. Energy compatibility is not about thinking alike. It's not even about feeling alike, because I could feel so strongly about someone, and yet we could be incompatible from an energetic point of view. That means what? That means that I could be extremely in love with a person, but this person has a certain energetic imprint that is totally different from whatever I am as the entirety of my emotions, of my thoughts, and of my experience. More exactly, yes, I could love someone that it's toxic to me. I could love someone that it's triggering my old wounds. I could love someone because I'm not healed and I need to find that person that triggers me so I can heal those specific emotional wounds. Energy compatibility means to be at home with someone, to be completely free, and to let yourself just be when you are with that person without ever trying mentally to alter the state in which you are, because you think this person expects you to be in a certain way or to behave in a certain way. Energy compatibility, it's extremely hard to identify at times because we enter relationships for very different purposes other than energy compatibility. We enter relationships because we feel lonely. We enter relationships because we feel that no one else will pick us. We enter relationships to prove to ourselves that we deserve validation. We enter relationships because we feel that we are past our due date in terms of love. And we think that maybe, well, I'm in my 30s or I'm in my 40s, maybe it's time to settle down, maybe it's time to have a partner. So I choose someone not because I feel at home with that person, but rather because other people are thinking that I should be in a relationship, and I think that a relationship will fill the gap and will fill the inner void. But the inner void cannot be filled with anything else other than my own work with myself and my own accountability for my emotions and thoughts and actions. When we talk about the energy of a person, we talk about everything. And this is the difference between energy and other fields such as emotion, such as thought, and such as experience. And why am I saying this? Well, because energy encompasses all my emotions, all my thoughts, and all my previous experiences. There is basically no way for me to run away from my own energy. This is something that every person who meets me for the very first time or for the 50th time in my life, they will definitely feel this energy. Why? Because it is my imprint and it is something that I bring to the surface in the other person. So basically my own energy, it's triggering and it's accessing the energy of the other person in different ways. For example, my energy could make you feel anxious. My energy could make you feel happy. My energy could make you feel in many ways that talk firstly about me and secondly about you. I am making you feel something. Firstly, it is my contribution. Secondly, it's the way in which you receive what I am sending towards you. So when we talk about energy compatibility, we talk about taking a step further from this division between good and bad. I could be a good person. Still, I am not compatible with another good person. And why is that? We are two good people. We are both good. But our energies are not compatible. It is not enough to have a good energy to be compatible with someone who is good. And why is that? Well, because I need to be compatible with someone from a very, very deep level to talk about energy compatibility. Namely, I need to step away from the ego trap. I need to step away from any sort of prejudice. I need to step away from any sort of false conviction. And I need to be completely vulnerable in front of that person. That means that I, from an emotional point of view, I am completely naked and I give that person, I grant that person full access to whatever emotional or thought I could ever have. Now, this is something very dangerous. And many people experience incredible anxiety when we talk about relationships, and many people do not want to fulfill any sort of long-term engagement, precisely because of this point, precisely because of being vulnerable. Now, vulnerability comes with another aspect, that is authenticity. You could never ever be vulnerable in front of anyone if you're not true to yourself. If you are living a version of yourself that has been created by you so that you satisfy other people's expectations, you will not be able to access yourself. So of course you will not be vulnerable because you don't know who you are, because you have not been digging into that depth. You have not experienced your subconscious fears, and so you are experiencing life on the surface. And yes, you don't experience deep pain, but you don't experience deep happiness either. Now, if you want to find out this energy compatibility, and if you truly are compatible with someone or not, you would need to be vulnerable. You would need to be completely available from an emotional point of view, and you would need to be aware of the fact that energy compatibility is not the key to perfect relationships. So no, there is no guarantee ever for true complete happiness, and you cannot do anything ever to secure a state of permanent happiness. It's rather working on your daily happiness every single day that will actually enable you to achieve this happiness and to keep it for a long time. Energy, it's about whatever I am thinking to myself. Energy, it's about the way in which I treat other people. It's about the way in which I have absorbed the knowledge and the wisdom throughout the years of my life up to this point. So when I meet another person, I have a certain energetic imprint, a certain energetic signature, and the other person is bringing also his own energy to this meeting, and these energies collide. We get to experience each other's energy, and we get to understand if our differences are bigger than our similarities, and if we can have a connection or not. Now, a very interesting phenomenon happens when there is a toxic relationship. And why is this? Well, because we don't have energy compatibility when we talk about a toxic partner. Yet, we are so attracted to that other person. And you could ask yourself, why is this? Why is this happening if this other person is not compatible with me? Yet I feel so attracted to him or to her. And the answer, it's always, well, you feel this attraction because the other person is triggering something in yourself that needs to be healed. What you feel, it's not compatibility, it's not love, it's not partnership, it's basically it's a desperate cry for help from your subconscious mind that is telling you, I need to be healed from the wound of being abandoned. I need to be healed from the wound of being rejected. So I am picking someone that will do this precise action that will enable me to bring to the surface this wound and to heal it afterwards. Toxic relationships are the opposite of energy compatibility. Yet they can be so intense and so deep, and they can feel like a disaster, and they can feel like an accident. And we are right when we feel this, because indeed we experience through toxic relationships an incredibly deep state of our being, and it is a state of consciousness that we wouldn't have investigated ever by staying on the surface and by being in a happy relationship. However, our purpose should not be toxic relationships. Let's investigate our subconscious mind. No, we can definitely do this in functional relationships, in healthy relationships where we get to receive and give love. But at a certain point of our lives, toxic relationships are basically the mirror of our own consciousness, and they talk a lot about the way in which we have gathered information and the way in which we process our emotions. Because if I have a lot of emotions that haven't been brought to the surface and haven't been expressed for a very long time, I could be tempted to access only this dimension of toxic relationships because there is no growing over there. I do not have to be wiser or smarter or kinder to be in the same type of relationship that I have pursued for the last 10 or 15 years. So I am doing something to myself that it's harming me because that's the only thing I have been doing. That is some sort of programmed behavior that I have learned throughout the years. And at a certain point, I do not care that it hurts me. I only care that I am so good at it and I will perform it every single time. Now, energy compatibility, it's something quite rare, and at times it can feel unattainable, and many people stay in toxic relationships because they feel that this principle of being truly compatible with someone, it's out of a fairy tale, that it's something that you need to be incredibly lucky to ever receive. And so from this perspective, people get to say, okay, I will compromise. Now, what does it mean to compromise? Well, compromise is good when we talk about picking the color of your sneakers. When we talk about getting yourself a sweater, you can compromise. You can say, well, today I won't pick the red sweater, although I like it a lot, I will pick the green sweater. But you can never compromise your life. You can never compromise your values. You can never compromise your emotions. And why is that? Well, because you are actually feeding yourself with these emotions and you are living in this energy. So when we talk about energy, we talk about the true nature of who we are. And we talk about something that cannot be hidden, that cannot be shaped in any other form than the real truth about ourselves. And this truth, it's about who we are in all aspects of our being, in all moments of our lives. Our energy talks about us when we are angry, when we are weak, when we are cruel to others, when we are not validating other people's feelings. And we must truly embrace who we are, and we must truly work in order to admit this energetic imprint so that we can have a chance to improvement. Improvement can only happen when there is true authenticity. So I cannot be compatible with someone from an energetic point of view, firstly, if I am not compatible with myself first. What does this mean? Well, this means that I need to truly understand who I am. I need to truly be aware of my nature. I need to know what exactly are my weak points and what exactly needs to be healed at this specific point of my life. And then, when I know myself well, when I know who am I, when I am completely aware of my weak points, I absolutely can say, okay, I can proceed to the next step. And this next step would be to find someone that is compatible with me. And this compatibility, it's something that firstly relates to the inner essence of that person. It relates to the true nature of that person, and it does not relate to the superficial way in which another person would make me feel, or the way in which another person looks, thinks, or feels. And there is this saying that energy never lies, and it's completely true, because energy never lies, even when you want to lie to yourself, even when you want to say, that's fine, this relationship, it's okay, it's not that bad, I am not that bad, I don't have this issue to fix. And your energy will be there to tell you, no, you have to fix this. And you know why your energy will be there to tell you that you can fix it? Because you can. Your energy will tell you you need to fix this because you can fix it. And you can fix anything that you put your mind and your emotion to. And there is this incredible important sense of being aware of who you are. And basically I can identify if I am compatible with someone or not by identifying exactly who am I at this specific point of my life, and what exactly am I putting into my life right now, and what exactly am I putting into the life of other people as experience, as training, as thought, in any possible way. When I can have a clear answer to these questions, then I can start to identify the way in which I am compatible or not with someone. And energy compatibility basically means to be with someone that it's helping this process of growing. It's basically me being truly involved with my life. It's basically me being truly involved with this other person's life. And it's about a process of finding my true self and of finding my authentic self without ever invalidating the other person's feelings, and without ever feeling that this other person is less important than I am. Energy compatibility means that I am living my life as it is. I am not pretending in any sort, in any way, that things are different. And it means that I do not compromise, and that I understand the importance of being around people who are bringing a deeper sense to my life. And many people are asking me, well, if I do not find someone that I'm energetically compatible with, then what should I do? Well, you can find someone, or you can become that someone that you are searching for. And this is another important chapter, because if I am not firstly energetically compatible with myself, I can never ever be energetically compatible with another person. And this is something that is overlooked at times, and people say, when I will find that someone that I'm compatible with, my whole life will turn around. First, you have to become that someone that you want to find. You have to become that perfect partner that you are searching in other people. And only then you can definitely find another person that is energetically compatible with yourself, because you know at this point who you are. You know at this point what you want in your life. And you can feel at this point exactly what is it, that thing that you are searching in other people. And you can search for something when you are in your 20s. You can search for another thing when you are in your 30s. You can search for another thing when you are in your 40s. And this energy compatibility, it's also related to your personal growth. Maybe you are compatible with a certain type of energy when you are in a certain stage of your life. But then you grow, you learn some things, maybe you go through some toxic relationships, and then you find some other person, and then you find some deeper truths, and these truths are enabling you to step to the next stage and to find someone that it's giving you other things that you weren't looking for. This is why it's so important to check this energy compatibility. And basically we can see it when we go on a first date, or when we hear this other person talking. How are we feeling about ourselves? What is it, this inner voice telling us when we are next to this person? Am I feeling comfortable? Do I feel like I could take my shoes off and just stay like this and listen to this other person? If I am guarded, if I am worried, if I am thinking, what is this other person thinking about me? Am I too fat? Do I look good? Will he or she dump me? Am I enough? When these thoughts occur, it is clearly that there is an energetic incompatibility. Either me or the other person, it's lacking something in terms of energy. And our energy, it's not synchronized, because maybe me or the other person gets emotionally defensive. You can give someone access to your money, to your life, to your body, but you can not give someone access to your energy. And when someone is not giving us access to their energy, it feels very dark. It feels unnatural. It feels as if we are there next to this person, but in fact we are not. We are more distant than ever because we do not access this other person's energy. And there are many times when we do not need people to tell us I like you or I don't like you, to put things into words. Words are a communication of something that has already happened from an energetic point of view. So if I am ever angry or sad with someone, I will convey this energetic state to this person firstly from my energy, and then through my words or my actions or any other kind of manifestation. This is why it is so important to be in contact with ourselves, to know exactly what our souls need at every point of our lives. And these things could be changing from one day to the other. It is so important because we need to be able to have in our lives, in our daily lives, people that we are compatible with from an energetic point of view. And if we are not compatible with these people, then we talk about toxic relationships because they are draining our energy. Where there is no energetic compatibility, we talk about being drained all of the time. We talk about being exhausted. We talk about not being able to sleep properly, not eating properly, or eating too much. We talk about emotional disorders or mental disorders, or even we talk about health problems, because energy incompatibility means to be in an anxious and a defensive and an angry state all of the time. So your energy, it's not growing, it's not blossoming, it's rather sabotaging you and your growth, and you are always forced to bring certain amount of energy from your resources so that things calm down. And you are always forced to behave in such a way that it's not natural to you. And this means that energy in your relationship will not flow. It will be strangled. It will be stuck. And this way of having stuck energy in your life will definitely bring you a lot of unhappiness, a lot of dissatisfaction with everything. And what's worse is that not being compatible with someone from an energetic point of view, it means to sabotage your life and your growth. And it means that you will not be able to be present in other relationships either. And this is incredibly harming, because when I am not present from an energetic point of view in a certain place with a certain person, I am not present at all. It is not enough to celebrate something with friends. It is not enough to have a wife or a spouse or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you name it. I need to feel this from an energetic point of view, and I need to be blended with this other person in such a way that we are experiencing energetic wholeness. We are experiencing a form of beingness and a form of togetherness that actually makes us a couple. And energetic incompatibility, it's a phenomenon that could happen even in families, even between mother and daughter, or mother and son, or father and daughter, or father and son, and so on, or even amongst brothers. You could be a good person, and this other person, he's also or she's also a good person, but you are just not compatible. You cannot blend from an energetic point of view. And this is something that at times you cannot work on. You can work on specific aspects of your personality, of your way of thinking, being, feeling, but you cannot ask someone else to change their energy, because this means deep awareness. So we can only change our energy, the whole amount of it, when we are upgrading our level of consciousness. But upgrading your level of consciousness comes only with awareness, and this awareness is the deepest and rawest place of being for you. And this awareness comes at times unplanned, and it's the result of so much work and so much suffering at times, and so much presence in your life. You need to be present all of the time, and at times it's exhausting to be present in everything that happens without being judgmental about it, without being angry about it. Just observe it and absorb the information, and then see how this information translates into emotion. So energy compatibility means to talk the language of the other soul that I am in a connection with. I cannot force this compatibility. I can think like this person. We can have the same values. We could have had the same family, and still we could be incompatible from an energetic point of view. And we could become compatible with years if there is a change in the state of consciousness of either of us or of both of us. And this change should come from a place of deep, profound awareness. And it is the experience, and it is the result of consciousness. It is not something that I am mentally doing, although it is something that I am mentally organizing. I could know that I want to grow as consciousness, but my knowing of this fact will not be enough for my growth in consciousness. I would need to experience consciousness in the deep state of awareness of my true self. And this awareness, from a practical point of view, means to experience all moods, all emotions, all thoughts, without being negative, without being mean, without being unforgiving, without being cruel, just with kindness and love. And yes, love is the fastest way to grow your consciousness, to experience your consciousness actually. And then where there is growth of consciousness in true deep love, yes, then we can talk about upgrading your energy. Then we can talk about knowing exactly in a minute if you are compatible with someone or not, because your consciousness has reached a level where it can definitely identify and see if you are compatible with this other person or not. And not only that you can identify if you are compatible with another person or not, but basically you can also see if you are where you want to be, if you are the person that you want to be. Because maybe you find someone that is better than you are from an energetic point of view, and you know where you are heading at. And you say, okay, I want to be like this person. I want to feel like this person is feeling. And this brings me back home to experience my own consciousness. This was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I invite you to hit subscribe and also like to this video and to the YouTube channel Maria Ducuţă. You can also find me on my Facebook page Maria Ducuţă, and we can also meet on Instagram. I wish you all a lovely